Welcome back. This is Sam Crowl again from the Ping Institute for the Humanities at Ohio University with another Ping moment. And we're picking up now with part 2 on Hamlet and the plague. We ended up last time talking about that moment when Hamlet runs Polonius through the arras, thinking it's Claudius and thinking and expressing his pleasure, a rat, dead for a ducat, dead, about what he hopes he's accomplished. And that led me to talk about the cat and rat game that Hamlet plays with Claudius as Claudius tries to pluck out the heart of Hamlet's mystery, and Hamlet tries to expose what he knows about Claudius. As an interesting sort of historical side note, and this is something Shakespeare couldn't have known because the Elizabethans didn't know, rats were important carriers of the disease, of the plague. They themselves didn't carry it, they carried the fleas on them that were the troublesome part here. And what was interesting was that whenever there would be an outbreak of the plague, the Elizabethans thought that perhaps it was carried by dogs and cats. So they killed the dogs and cats, and of course they killed the very animals that pursued the rats. So it was totally counterproductive without their knowing it. And there is something to all of that in Hamlet's cat and mouse, cat and rat game with Claudius, although he finally does get him, even though it costs him his own life. The disease imagery, Hamlet, pops up early, and it pops up in conjunction at first with corruption. One of the guards up on the battlements when Horatio comes up and begins to talk to them about the ghost, says there's something rotten in the state of Denmark. Rotten because the ghost means trouble. Something's not right in the body politic. And that gets picked up in Hamlet's first great soliloquy. Oh, that this too sullied flesh would thaw, resolve itself into a dew, or that the everlasting had not set his cannon against self-slaughter. Hamlet is already at this point, just through his father's death, his uncle's elevation to the throne, and the remarriage, or the marriage of Claudius and Gertrude, feels himself sullied, tarnished, soiled, diseased. And that language will crop up in certain key relationships in the play, particularly with the two women who are the most important figures in his emotional life, his lover Ophelia and his mother Gertrude. And he thinks, and he has reason to so think, that they both betray him. Gertrude has already betrayed him by marrying Claudius, not remaining loyal to her marriage to Claudius, or not for long. And Ophelia, because of that wonderful little scene that we call the nunnery scene, because everybody remembers the great line, "Get thee to a nunnery." Our students all do, because we tell them that it's also a slang word for brothel, and they love stuff like that. But in that scene with her, he comes to discover that she is betraying him, that she has not told him that she's being a front person, a bait for her father and Claudius, who were listening to this exchange. And when Hamlet comes to discover it, I mean, he says to her at one point, "Where's your father?" And she has to react, the actress has to do, with a look toward the heiress or a guilty look on her face, and he knows immediately. And he turns on her and says, "Get thee to a nunnery. If thou dost marry, I'll give thee this plague for thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as snow, as pure as ice, thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery." So the plague comes up, and the plague comes up that it's the eternal condition. That is, to be in the world is to be corrupt, is to be diseased. And Ophelia has caught it. And then later, after the mousetrap, the play in which he tries to expose Claudius, when he's in his mother's bedroom, he turns his probing eye on her to get her to look into her soul and see what she's done in her marriage to Claudius. And she confesses to him, O Hamlet, thou hast turned mine eye into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their tinct. So he's performed a sort of x-ray on her, in which he's gotten her to look into her soul, and on that x-ray there are those black spots, like the doctor in our world discovering those black spots that mean cancer or something terrible. And so she confesses that she at least is aware that she is no longer pure herself, marriage pure. And when then Claudius comes to realize that Hamlet knows what he's done, and he sends him off to England to be killed, he says, do it, England, for like a hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me. A hectic is a disease. So the disease imagery is now not as being passed, in a sense, from Hamlet to Ophelia to Gertrude to Claudius. And of course, we then hasten to the fifth act and the resolution of the drama, which is in the ultimate disease, death, multiple deaths, including that of the hero. Now that we have the vaccine, and we can look forward to perhaps better days coming, spring, let's hope that the next time we visit, I can talk about Shakespeare's comedies and better, happier times.